You mentioned it. The Browns' bye week this season is week 10. It was week 5 last year. Now it's week 10. And if you look around the rest of the AFC North, the Bengals have a week 12 bye. The Ravens, a very late bye, week 14. The Steelers at week 9. So most of the teams are within the 10 to 14 range, or really 9 to 14 if you want to include all of them. But all later in the season. No early buys for the AFC North. Do you guys like the early bye? Do you like the later bye? And how does this week 10 bye fit into the Browns schedule?
I like the bye.
Seems like the perfect week to have week 10.
I mean, it's like smack dead in the middle of the season.
It is,
you hit the reset button, and then you got to get ready for you coming off of just that last gauntlet, because we know the first 5 games is whatever. Those next waves is pretty tough. You hit the reset button. You start off with some easy games, and then you ease it. You get ready for that gauntlet at the end. So I think week 10 is perfect, right in the middle. Hit the reset button. You'll learn, be able to assess your team, figure out what you did do it good in that first half, figure out what you need to work on. Got to remember, it's a lot of moving parts. You got new coaches on the coaching staff that's coaching with these coaches for the first time. You got to figure out what works and what doesn't and be ready for that tail end. So I think right at half is perfect.
Jason?
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah. I mean, week 10 is just about the best you can get. It's in a 17-game season. It's kind of the halfway point. 9 games, you play 9, you sit, you play 8. I mean, you really can't get better than that. I'm thinking like with the Ravens, week 14 feels almost like too late.
Let me see the other buys again.
The Steelers are week 9, the Bengals week 12, and the Ravens week 14.
14 is really late.
That seems late.
That's late. Yeah.
Which would you prefer as a player, really early or really late?
If middle was not an option.
If middle is not
like week 5 or week 14?
Early.
Why?
Because it just seems like when it's late like that, it gets very redundant. To whereas when you get it done early, it's like, all right, we got to lock in and make these games count. There is no light at the end of the tunnel, until we done with this whole thing. And you're still in that mode. Like, I'm in that mode. I don't have to rev my body back up again. Like, I'm ready to roll.
What's weird about the schedule, I don't think this has ever happened before. 28 of the 32 teams have a bye in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, like there's most of the teams are on bye either weeks 5 or 6, 10 or 11, or 5 or 6, or 10 and 11, or 12 or 14. Well, there's no byes week 13.
That's odd.
There's no byes week 8, and there's only 2 in week 7 and 9.
Is that? I'm just wondering if that's in any way trying to prepare for 2 bye weeks.
I don't know.
I don't know what the
I've never seen no
bye
week in week 8.
It used to be spread out.
Yeah, it used to be like
4
teams every week, and then there was 1 week that was 6 or something.
Yeah. Do you got Mike, you got the dates on these games? Because I was reading something that said
I can tell you the dates.
It was something like
you mean the times?
No, like the date. Like, because they were saying like the Browns play like 3 or 4 games with like less than 4 or 5 days of recovery.
Well, every team in the North is playing 2 Thursday night games. So it's not like it's unfair to the Browns and fair. Because I think there's 6 or 8 teams playing 2 Thursday night football games, and all 4 AFC North teams are amongst the, whatever it is, 6 or 8 teams. But what's crazy is what Mike just put up there. So in the first 11 weeks of the season, the first 12 weeks, first 11 games, the Browns have no scheduled night games. And then they play 4 night games in 6 weeks late in the season.
You happy about that?
If I were a player, I wouldn't want to play 4 night games in 6 weeks. Would you?
As a former athlete that's going to be doing the post-game show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm upset.
I know. But as a player, would you
I don't like waiting.
4 out of 6.
I never really liked the waiting around. I always like to get after it. But the atmosphere of a night game is what you want to play.
State, that's all you play.
Right. You play, would you want to play 4 in 6 weeks?
Well, you get used to it then.
Okay.
Like, yo,
all right, fair enough.
If you gonna do it like that, you'll be used to it. Like, I got my routine. See, the difference is when you're a professional athlete, everybody got their routine of how they get ready for games.
Right.
And sometimes it's different due to the kickoff times. So if you got a night game, now I got more time to lay around and do whatever I want to do. To where if it's an early game, you got to get revved up, get ready to go, get everything that you need to do to get ready in early. So if you're gonna have 4 of them in that consecutively, you'll be fine. Because you'll have your routine. The first one, you'll figure out your routine. By 2, 3, and 4, you'll already be in your mode.
I don't know the answer to this. I don't think a lot of people know you still stay at a hotel even for home games. They still corral everybody together in a hotel. Do they get you up earlier? Do they get you up at the same time for a night game as they do for a 1 p.m. kickoff?
No.
Or they let you sleep
They
later?
let you sleep in. Yeah,
So what time for a 1 p.m. kickoff, what time are you up and at breakfast? And if it's a night game, what time do you have to be in for meetings?
The buses, they start breakfast at 6 a.m. Nobody probably is down there. And that's a lie. People are different. And some
I heard
people out
Russell
there.
Wilson's down there.
We'll see. I would say you got to be at the stadium 4 hours before kickoff, so that puts you at what? 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that means the first bus leaves at like 8, and every bus leaves at like 20 minutes after that. So you got 3 buses that you got to make it either 8, 8:20, or 8:40. Boom, you go
And
there.
you could choose. It's up to you.
Yeah, you choose.
I guess
which
if you
one you
need
wanna
more
go.
treatment
or
or
if
something,
you
you go early.
if it's at the home game and you want to drive yourself,
Yeah,
you're free to drive yourself.
Do guys go home?
Some, depending on when time the game is.
Yeah.
So when I was in Seattle, you got up, you did some meetings, and then after that meeting was over, you was free. You can go do what you want to do until it was time to leave. So some guys would get in their car, go home, get dressed, and leave from their homes. But you required to spend the night at the hotel.
Yeah.
As a when you played, did you play a Thursday night or Sunday night and a Monday night?
I played
or
a
no?
Thursday night and I played a Monday nighter.
Which is the best?
Atmosphere?
Yeah.
Monday night football.
No, but what is the best as a player to play, actually?
Monday night.
Better
Even
than
better
well, you
Sunday?
didn't play a Sunday night.
I didn't
but
play Sunday night.
Okay.
Monday night football.
Thursday. I've heard some players like a Thursday night game because you get a mini
You get
bye.
that part. But if your body is beat up from the
Right.
Sunday game, then you like.
I guess you'd like a Thursday night game early in the year is probably not too bad, right?
Yeah,
'Cause you haven't
probably
beat
not.
up too much,
Right,
maybe.
yeah.
But
One more
Browns
on,
have 2 late Thursdays. So.
one
Yeah.
more on this because I find this stuff really interesting.
That Monday night game. Ooh-wee.
You guys are grown-ass men. Why do they make you stay in a hotel before
that
a
is
home
weird.
game? I know they want early meetings, but you really can't trust these guys not to go out on Saturday night and do stupid things before the game? Is that really it? I guess that's really it.
Before Tyvis gets in trouble,
Really? Are
again
you
with a
serious?
Jason, you've been around enough athletes.
Yes, but the night, I mean, in the NBA, it's different. There's 82
Yeah.
games. There's only 7. I can't believe that you can't be mature enough not to go out on Saturday
people
night
can't handle
before
it.
a game.
Some people can't
Like in
handle it.
college, I
wait a
totally
second.
get it in
handle
college.
it.
By the time you're in the NFL, you ought to be able to control yourself.
Let me repeat myself. Jason, you've been around a lot of that.
Tyvis, I'm going to save you here with the fan.
Go ahead, guys. Let's play. It's time for everybody's favorite game show. It's the schedule game.
I got to pee.
And before that, it is winner take all time in the NBA and
Yes,
NHL.
of
And FanDuel
course.
is giving you, a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and make every shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.